Hello, hello, everyone. We are back to working on the 7-panel hat. I am currently working on getting my thread lined up for these external stitches. I was just matching up 2 long strips of thread so that I could accomplish this. And I think I have accomplished that now. Awesomeness. I want this to be the back end. So I want this to be what starts the stitch line, which you cannot even see. I want the red green, it's actually orangey, orange, green, red, blue to be what comes up this way. So I start out by putting a little bit of a knot in here. Shoot, pulled that right out. Hi, Terry. I hope you're having a wonderful... Well, this would be super early morning for you, isn't it? It's 6... What is it, 6? Well, no, it's 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for you. Can't remember my time changes. Oh, it's okay. So it's midnight. Oh, yeah, not 12 hours. Duh. 6 hours. So if it's 6 o'clock here, it's midnight for you. So I hope you had a good day today. I should know this with the amount of time I spent in Belgium. And calling back home. I actually spent a couple of months in Belgium with my work. Long time ago. Long time ago. An eventful day. Yeah, I got my work done that has to be done by Friday. I got it done yesterday. So, yeah, I'm sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing. Which is good because I've been having some sleep problems. So it's like, literally, I'm getting paid to take naps in the middle of the day. We're not telling work that, though. Not telling work that I'm napping in the middle of the day. Okay. Get this straightened up. Get these needles threaded. That's how much wax is in this thread that I can pull the thread out and it, yeah, you can see the thread kind of stays out there. And that's just from the wax content in it. That is not normal. If you tried doing that with regular unwaxed thread, it would just flop. There is a limit to how far out you can hold it without it starting to flop, but that's okay. I think I'll start with this one. Excuse my coughing. Oh, these threads are really super duper long. To find the repeat pattern, it took a bit on this one. But it is what it is. To get what I want, I pull the thread that I need, and that did not work. It did not secure these ends, so I need to fix that. Do not like that that didn't stay. I had one of them come untied. Let me see if I can encourage this to stay together. Repeat. Try again. Sent a couple packages out today. I need to find a new box for the shoe purse because I thought the lady who got the shoe purse was going to be at the event I was at this past weekend. And so I took it to hand deliver it to her to find out that she was unable to attend. So that left me with a shoe purse not in the hands of the owner. So now I will have to ship it to her. I was definitely trying to save on that, but it is what it is. I will ship it. I sent Sue's box out today. I sent Flutter's box out. I'd actually gotten them ready yesterday, but mail had already run, so I had to wait until today. Oh, I gotta get my pen out. I will sort these and put them back where they belong as soon as possible. But for now, they'll just go in this container. And I need to find my JB Weld. Let me see if I can adjust that camera a little bit. I have a tendency to pull things close to this edge to work. People are bleeping me for something, but I am not going over there to see what they're bleeping me about. It is one of my leather care classes, or discussion boards, I should say, not really a class. It's a place on Discord where we basically gather to chat. And we do that so we can share knowledge. If you haven't figured out, I'm big on sharing knowledge. Keeping these long threads separate so they don't end up in a big old knot. It's kind of important. It also helps me keep my stitches straight. So the thread I just pulled, I'm pulling it to my right side, always. And this one, when I pull it, I'm pulling it down toward, basically between my legs, because I'm sitting with my legs separated in a chair. So it'd be almost like pulling it to the left of me. Just to the left of me is where I have some of my tools and stuff where I can reach them. And if I pull stuff to there, to pull my thread to the left, it winds up getting hung up on my rulers. Because I have my ruler standing up in one of my containers so that they're easily accessible. Can't wait for my tea to get in. I just ordered some new flavors that I want to try. I ordered that Disney collection. I'm going to take those tins and use them in my leather crafting area to house stuff for me when I'm finished with the teas that are in them. Still thinking about that $200 box that I want to buy. It's an organizer. I would love to have a couple of them to put in here for organizing stuff. I do have some money that I've set aside for my commissions. Trying to remember to set aside a certain percentage so I can buy stuff that I could use to improve things for me. But what I really need is something I can put my trays in, which I have different sizes of trays. I'll show you. You know, obviously I have the small one that I have my pins, my stitch holders in, stitch savers. But then I have bigger ones, and I have several of these. I could even replace them if necessary. But I have several of these that I keep different things in. And these are like much longer. These are 10.5 by 6 3/4. But having it where I could label it on the front what it is, and having it where I can put them in something and have them stacked up easily where I can get to them and see what they are. Because like right now I have them stacked in a box, and I am constantly having to restack them, because to find what I need I have to unload them all to dig through them. But being able to label them and see what's on each one would be most useful. Or getting something that has drawers, equivalent drawers that I could put things in. But it would have to be something I could roll around. That would also break down if I needed to move it upstairs for having surgery or something. Yeah. Welcome to anyone who came in who was just being a quiet lurker. If you have any questions about anything I'm doing, ask. Welcome back, Terry. I think somewhere along the line I'm going to have to take off 1 or 2 weeks from doing commissions and do a rearrange of this space. It's not flowing as well as I would like it to, but I would also like to set it up where if I wanted to, I could have a face cam and not have people looking at stuff they have no business looking at behind me. So basically putting my back against the wall. I'm hoping to gather enough money one day before I need to retire and before my legs give out, and be able to put in a small elevator in the house. Enough to get me and maybe a couple of other things up and down between the different floors of the house. Because the idea of going out the main door to get in the car to drive to the back through the backyard to come in the basement is not, that doesn't seem like the right way to do it to me. So I need to be able to get up and down the steps or have an elevator. And because of the way they have the stairs in here, I'm pretty sure I can make it work. Lots of areas that I think I can put an elevator and make it work between the different floors. Get one of those ones that holds, what, 1,500, 2,000 pounds. And then it can carry me, it can carry supplies, whatever it needs to. I worked in a library that had one. It was a small, I think it was like a 3x3 or a 4x4. It was small. See, here in the US, because of the need to have accessibility, they would have to find a way to provide accessibility. And that might mean for some people putting them, making sure that they have ground floor accommodations. And stuff like that. Because you have to, they have, in the US, they have to adhere to ADA, which is Americans with Disability Act. Accessibility is a big deal around here. You know, hey, we're the people that make places change their doorways so that people in wheelchairs can make it through. And I think all my doors are wheelchair width. And I would find out before I had anyone come stay with me that was in a wheelchair. Yeah, sitting down and scooting up and down stairs doesn't sound like fun either, does it, Terry? Yeah, I got a house that has, you know, I have the upstairs where all the bedrooms are. Then I have the main floor of the house, which is your living room, dining room, kitchen, sitting room. And then there's the basement. So I have 2 sets of stairs. And there are days that I will come down the stairs and I do not go back upstairs until I am going to bed. It's like I go up and down each set of stairs once. If I come down here and I need something, then it's like, someone bring me this, because, yeah, decrepit legs. Eventually, I will have a full kitchenette down here. Yeah, my attic is not insulated enough to be useful for anything other than basic storage. It's also not really, I guess in the middle it's kind of tall enough. I'll have to check it out when the winter time comes. But I think it would be a lot of work to try to make it useful. They use the blown-in insulation, so I would have to do some cleanup, and, well, I'd have to put floor in it. There's not a floor up there for most of it. I would have to put the floor in, and I would have to vacuum up all that insulation, clean up and make sure that all the insulation is under the floor for that insulation. But that would be something way down the road. If I had the money, first thing I'm going to do is close off my deck, my back deck, and put it into part of the kitchen and breakfast nook, expand that. So basically push that wall out to be even with the other wall on the back, because of the way the back of the house is. There's a window here, but then it comes this way, like this. And this is my living room. My kitchen is here, and there's a breakfast nook here. And all of this is a back deck. My idea would be to close in this back deck, leave the sink and everything here in the middle, but take out this wall and move it out to here because it's a big window. And then that would open this up for a bigger breakfast nook area, and put some windows over here because, you know, that's what you need. But basically put in a massive pantry area. And then possibly come back off of it like this and do a new deck out here all the way across, and have this set up with a gas connection so I could put in a gas grill out here. I know there's a water connection on this wall, so I could probably run it out to here. And bring it up to have I don't know, have something out there, but just set it up where we can have a really good area for guests and stuff. But, you know, I have my plans in my head on this. This being phase one is closing in that deck and making it part of the kitchen. That would basically almost double the size of the kitchen. Second phase would be to put on a new deck, a party deck, and make it hold massive quantities of weight. Not, you know, not that I have parties on my back deck or anything. Well, I don't right now, because that's where the dog enclosure is. So kind of hard to do that with the dogs around. So I am talking future after my daughter graduates school and moves out of the house and stuff like that. If I were to need a dog run now, I would change where it is. Yeah. Once my daughter and them move out, this house is going to be bigger than what we need, but it is exactly what I've always wanted, because I've always wanted a house that had loads of space where a friend can say, yeah, I would like to have loads of space. Lisa goes, hey, we want to come up to Georgia and mine for amethyst. And I can say, okay, let me get your room ready and provide them with a place to stay. Right now, that's not feasible because we have no vacant beds in this house with Lily and the kids here. My goal was to eventually set it up where the basement could be accessible even if we weren't home, to our friends, having a lock with a code on it. And they would be able to come in the back door, because my basement is a walkout basement. It's not 100% underground. So like I can look out the windows, and my basement has windows, and I can look out into my backyard because my house is built on a hill. So the goal was to put a lock that I could change the code to, and put a code on it, so that if someone was going to come into town and I wasn't here, I could just give them the code. And once I put the kitchenette down here, it would have a full bath and provide them with a bed to sleep in, and they would have everything they need and have no reason to go up into the main part of the house. So yeah, there's that. I've always lived in a house that had barely enough room, and decided that when I was buying a house, I was not going to have barely enough room. I was going to have more than enough room. Also planning for my future that eventually one day I might have to retire. I can always rent out part of the house as an income. Yeah, I would like to create what around here they call a catio. So basically a way that the cats could go through a cat door to get into a enclosed area on the porch, on the back deck. So that the cats would be safe and cared for in a very safe environment. And they would be able to go outside and hang out, so to speak. I think catios are kind of cool. But I would like to get something. I know that, well, if I do the deck, if I redo the deck, my deck will have a way to secure it so that no animals can get on the deck. It would have a gate at the one end. The reason why is because we have a lot of animals around here. Dogs. Neighbors have lots of dogs. My neighbor next door has like 4 or 5 dogs. And I want to make sure that if they see cats, they don't come running to my property. These strings are so long. I chose such long threads today. Pulling off some of that excess. So this is the stitch line I did today, which is different from the other ones. That's the point. I'm trying to do it different each time. It's hard with these super long threads, but I don't want to cut it and waste any thread until I figure out what my next seam is going to look like. There we go. totally misplaced my new thread snips. I think I might move up to the yellow and start one with the yellow. But if I do that, that's going to put that orange there. So maybe I'll do it over here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Pro planning. Yeah, my cats don't go outside because they know the big bad dogs are out there. So they're not thrilled about that whole outside thing right now. But I think if I got them a catio, they would. Because you can get the pet doors that work off electronic collars. So I can set it up where the door doesn't open on its own unless there's a cat attached to a collar there. Let me see. I think I'll go there. Yeah. I'll do the inside one next. Yeah, ours are all 100% indoor cats. One of them was not, the one that's actually my daughter's cat. Mr. Spencer was not originally just an inside cat, but he also came from a home of very toxic environment. The lady was basically a cat hoarder, and she did not properly care for her cats. There was a lot of inbreeding, not feeding the cats, not providing them with clean, safe water and stuff like that. And basically my daughter showed up at the house, saw Mr. Spencer and was like, I'm taking this cat home with me. He had not yet succumbed to a lot of the diseases the other cats had. So she kidnapped him. She catnapped him and brought him to the house. And she's had him ever since. So he acts a little weird. I'm thinking it's an inbred situation. Because that lady would not get any of her cats fixed. She was really bad about that. Even though she could have got it done free or cheap because of the program that was in place in North Carolina at the time. If she would have captured them and brought them in as feral cats, the Humane Society would have fixed them, spayed and neutered the cats for free. It's a program they do, and they let you re-release the cats because wild cats are population control for mice. You know, they eat mice and rats, and when they're not being fed, they will eat mice and rats. So in an area that has woods around it, mice are desired for varmint control. So She could have gotten them all taken care of as far as spayed and neutered. She chose not to. Which I don't understand that concept personally. But we love animals in our family, so. Would be testament to the 3 German Shepherds, the Min Pin, and the 3 cats living in the house. 4 dogs, 3 cats, 2 grandchildren, and a child. And my child, I mean. That's what Jeff and I care for. It's almost like Christmas going on, you know? And a partridge in a pear tree. I wish this congestion would just disappear. I think I might have to start taking some NyQuil and DayQuil to break it up. Because this coughing and sneezing is not doing it for me. So yeah. Now someone wants something in gray. Oh, yes, I need to put that on my commission list. I just thought about this. I have a kilt panel to make. For some reason, gray just popped in my head of you've got to do this gray thing. And I had to think of what it is that I'm doing in gray. Someone approached me. They have a kilt. And you can buckle in items to it. Or you can buckle, the front panel changes out. And she wants me to make her a new front panel and a new sporran to match it. The back of the kilt is black, and so you can get as many front pieces as you want and change it out. And I think she said the company that originally made it is no longer in business, so she can't exactly go back to them to get new front panels. But she knows I can also pull patterns off of things, so that therefore I can take her panel and replicate it. And then she can decide on what colors she wants, and I can just keep changing them out or keep making them. All I have to do is get her to pay for the first one and love it. And then she'll do it on a regular. I have a white fur sporran. But I have also made leather sporrans that matches whatever someone is wearing. My husband has a black sporran that he wears with his formal. The white fur would not look good with his formal setup, his formal kilt set and all. So yeah. We got him his full formal when he was standing in for somebody at their wedding. The lady did not get along with her biological parents, so she asked my husband to be her substitute father, I guess is the best way to put it. And that's exactly what he did, was he stepped in to be substitute dad. We stepped in to be sub parents. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to charge her for it. I was talking to a friend of mine that I think he has the same kilt and he knows the pricing of what those panels cost. So doing a full leather panel with including the sporran with it, I don't think 125 is unreasonable for the amount of leather that it will use and my time. So I do have to get with her on that. I need to go ahead and trace off the pattern for it. I'm wondering if I can take the actual piece to a place that prints off bigger papers. And just lay the whole piece up on the copy machine. And that way it does an exact copy of that one. I need to put tape on this. When I open super glue or crazy glue, because I use the small containers, I use the little individual ones, small containers. When I open it, I put tape on it so that when I have multiples sitting around, I can easily identify which one is open. I just brought these down. Because you always need a little piece of crazy glue every now and then. Find some place to put them that's safe. Keeping them closed up is important. I think that's going to catch, that is. Oh, my sinuses are going stupid today. Just like really all up in my head. I don't know if I'm getting if it's going to be a full-blown sinus infection going on or what. No, the last thing I heard from Flutter is the same thing Robbie's been saying, is that they were making some changes and she just has to wait through it until everything works out for her. And I absolutely understand that. I cannot, if I have to start new meds like on a Friday afternoon so that I can see how my body is going to react to it so it doesn't affect my work. Because I have really strange reactions to medications. So I can understand where she's coming from, that she needs to take some time to get through it and figure it out. And, changing meds suck sometimes. They cause adverse effects. I will check in on her later. I don't want to bother her too much. If she's not on Lisa's tonight and Lisa and Kendra are selling, then I will do what she normally does for them and step up and do that so that they get taken care of in her absence. She has all kinds of nifty stuff set up. I don't have all that stuff set up. I'm not as fancy and quick. Yeah. You get on a diabetes medicine and it kind of works, but not 100%. And the doctor's like, let's make a little change to see if we can get it to work a little better. And they put you on a new medicine and all of a sudden your glucose level drops to the floor. Because that medicine works like super good. Or you have an adverse effect and your glucose goes up when it should be going down. It's one of those kind of situations. You just have to figure out what that med is going to do and how your body is going to react to it. In my family, we just have weird reactions to medications. I mean, I'm the person that's allergic to Benadryl. The number one go-to for allergic reactions, and I'm allergic to it. So, yeah, just strange. So I absolutely understand that needing time when you're getting meds changed. Oh, your A1C? That's good. Get it down to 6 or 7. And then you will be just like a non-diabetic, but you still have to do the care. And in the US, we also have to deal with insurance. Like they had my husband on a medicine. And when I changed company or they changed my insurance or something, and all of a sudden the insurance didn't want to cover his medicine. So they recommended his doctor change his medicine. So his doctor changed his medicine. And then we just got a message that the new medicine is not going to be covered anymore, and they recommend him changing back to the old medicine. And it has to do with how much they pay for a medicine and stuff. And, we obviously, with already paying for insurance, want to pay as little as possible for the medications. And it all goes down to contracting and bidding on prices and price agreements. And more than likely, the first company wouldn't renegotiate prices with the insurance company in the beginning, but now they decided to this year. So yeah, it's stupid. Insurance companies annoy me anyway. Because if my doctor says I need a specific medicine, an insurance company should not be telling me if I can get it or not. It should be covered by the insurance I pay for. New glasses, new meds, new teeth. Actually, I keep my eyes going all the time. Every year we get the eyes checked because I kind of need them to do my job. And with my teeth cracking getting worse, I need to go ahead and move forward with doing something with that. And see, when I was overseas, when I was over there, I was in Denmark when I had problems. I had oral surgery in the U.S. and they did something wrong. I had the oral surgery not long before I flew to Denmark. And during my 2-week stay in Denmark, I wound up developing an infection. And so I had to go to the hospital in Denmark. And I was pleasantly surprised that they took care of me with no problem, without asking for money. They did x-rays and everything for me. So yeah, it was kind of cool. Oh, 4 years. I couldn't imagine going 4 years without getting my eyes checked. I was happy that my prescription had not changed last year. That was a positive. Or they didn't change enough to matter, I guess it would be a better way to put it. It wasn't a significant change that the doctor said if I got a new prescription and got new glasses, I probably would not notice the change because it was so minor. And so since I also get prescription sunglasses, I opted to just wait another year before getting any new glasses. And see what kind of change I have next time. So yeah. Well, in 4 years, I probably did. They'll get you straight. They'll hook you up. You'll be like a whole new person, getting everything taken care of. I'm hoping that, getting some of this other stuff done that I need to get done, I'll feel like a whole new person. Um, Not exhausted all the time from not sleeping because of pain. But, it's like go to bed, lay in bed, lay in bed, lay in bed, toss, turn, just lay there, toss, turn. And that's basically how my night starts off for the first hour or so. Um, it takes a lot for me to actually get to sleep. And then if I roll over wrong, I'm awake again. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to deal with the diabetic eye situation. Went through a lot of that stuff with my late husband. But he didn't take care of himself for over 10 years before it caught up with him. So by the time he said something about how bad it was getting, he had already done severe damage to his body, because he just didn't trust me to be there to help him take care of himself, which was a little disturbing that he didn't believe in me that much, believe that I would care for him. And that was a little bit sad. Because there was no reason for him to think I wouldn't take care of him. None at all. Trying to find out, there's the hole. Ooh, had that wrapped around my mouse. Almost pulled my mouse off the table. Yeah, I know you go to sleep everywhere. It's like I go to sleep here. There it goes again. Don't think that's where I wanted that to be. That should have come up. Okay, I need to undo that one. Okay, my husband is typing something. When my husband types to me, I actually go see what it says. this in. I know, you just go to sleep. If you snore, there could be a possibility that you have sleep apnea, which would attribute to you just falling asleep all random times and being tired. Sleep apnea will do that to you. Is there not a hole there? There should be a hole there. There should have been a hole there. I shall have to make me a hole there. I don't know that this will make a hole through there. It may. It will. I was missing a hole because I altered the pattern. I've been known to be sleeping at my desk. My family sometimes thinks I'm crazy. And that's okay. They are allowed to think I'm crazy. And lately I've been really tired. So I've been going to sleep where I don't need to be sleeping. I've been sleeping in my work chair quite a bit this week. I'm hoping after this weekend I can get myself back on track, which is really silly since it's almost, I've got to make arrangements to go to Texas to pick up my trailer. Which I need to find out from the insurance company if they are going to be paying me gas money for that. I think they said they were going to. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, well, I know you stay up and you try to keep U.S. hours at times, but you're retired now, so you can. Except for when you need to go, like, groceries and stuff like that, you know. Trying to run that on U.S. time won't work very well for you. I lived on Denmark time for a while. Because I was doing some work. When I first started, I was doing work with a company in Denmark. H. Lundbeck. And the man who later became my mentor and friend was actually staying in Denmark quite a bit. And so we could become more productive if I just stayed up. I mean, I would go to work in the middle of the night, basically, so that he and I would be working the same hours. It was harder for him because he was in the office, and so he had to accommodate office hours. Okay, if I start a blue, do I have a blue, orange, green? Blue, orange, yellow. I do back here. But that'll be on the other side. Green, orange, blue. That's this one. I think I'm going to go blue, orange, green, because this will be on the other side of the hat. So yeah. Yeah, I've seen where you do that, and it's like you'll stay up, and then it'll be like, oh, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, things are open, I need to go do my things, and then you'll log off. Sewing these two pieces together is going to be fun. I might be able to do it and sew from one side to the other, but I'm just going to finish these two stitch lines before I think about that. It is a quiet day today, and that's okay. I don't have to have a ton of people in here all the time. Well, I never have a ton of people in here. I have few people in here, and I guess that's okay. It is what it is, kind of thing. They had quite a few people trying to encourage me to go live, but they don't show up for the stream, and it is what it is, I guess. And then I know some other people have things to do, and they can't always come, so, but we'll see. Yeah, we won't talk about that. Look at my account and go, oh crap, I gotta move some money. But I have a friend who is a school teacher, and he teaches special needs children, and they're also low income families. And I came across where I could get some 24 packs of Crayolas and stuff like that for like 25 cents. And so I had to get some school supplies for him. Hold on just a second. My daughter is looking at me like she is needing me for something, and I don't know how to mute. I'm back. My daughter was talking to me about someone that may or may not need stitches. And while I know how to do surgeon's knots and could probably swing it, I am not sticking needles in people's skin. If it's already closed to the touch, he can go get the stuff. I think it's called new skin. Basically, it's crazy glue for skin.
Mm-hmm.
And put it over the top of it and just bandage it.
Let me find that.
Pharmacy section of any store.
Okay.
And take some Band-Aids with him. If he can find Tagaderm, that's preferred. Yeah.
Butterfly and then Tagaderm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, her friend that is going into the woods for work cut his hand right here. It's not very long this way, but he says it's about a ½ inch deep. And he was talking to her about it, and she said something about stitches, and he goes, "Can you put stitches in it?" And then my child comes all innocent looking at me going, "How hard is it to do stitches?" But she showed me a picture of it, and he doesn't need stitches. At best, because it's already closed and has started, the skin connecting process, at best, he could put some butterfly bandages over it and Tagaderm and just keep it bandaged. They sell some stuff, I think it's called New Skin, and you can use that to, it's basically like a crazy glue. Because of the depth of it, I would not put actual super glue or crazy glue on it. Yep, that was the other thing. Band-Aid, bandage, plaster, whatever you want to call it. I need to keep my sandals close to me so I don't leave them down here tonight. I am terrible about bringing shoes down here and leaving them down here. Yeah, her friend will be okay. It's what we call her situationship, because neither one of them want to get into a relationship at this time, but they're only dating each other. So it's a situationship. I met him last weekend. He seems to be a nice guy. He treats her like a daggone princess, spoils her. And this hat is not too bad. The hardest part so far has been getting the coloring set up the way I want it. It's just tedious. Very repetitive. The brim will probably become the more difficult getting the brim and the hat band on. Um, did that a little crooked. I need to see what time Lisa and Kendra are coming on today so that I set up when I'm going to log off. It is 7:30 right now. They do not have their live set up in advance. So I'm going to have to watch that for when they decide to go live. Hoping I get some advance notification. 21st century, 20th century, whatever. It's the first 2 digits of the year. Hi, Francis. +1. It's a quiet stream today. Not that many people. Okay, there's you and Terry and me. Working on the hat. Getting all the different color stripes and coloration stripes in here. I mean, in theory, I could have gotten the different colors of the rainbow and done each line a different one, but that wasn't what was requested. It wasn't requested rainbow colors around the hat. It was requested rainbow thread. Now I just poked my finger. Which I've been known to do. Poketh my finger. I'm hoping Lily's situationship dude. He's starting a new job tomorrow. He's going to be doing a lot in the woods. Kind of a camping out situation. I am hoping it works out for him. And he loves the job. And it's everything he's wanting. Yeah, usually Lisa and them go on between 9:30 and 10. So I'll probably stay on another hour and a half. Or so. You see, it is 7:30 here. 7:30. 2.5 hours. Between 2 to 2.5 hours. So I will go offline at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Which I think is an hour and a half from now. Which I know it's really exciting watching me stitch this. Repetitive stitching and stitching and stitching. That's the hard part is, when I'm doing it like live, I can't speed up the action, so to speak. I can't make it go any faster. If I pre-record then post, I can speed it up. You're sleeping now? You don't seem to be sleeping, Terry. You're the only one I know that types and sleeps. Or are you saying you're going to take a nap now until Lisa comes on? Do not know why today my hands are not cooperating to make these stitches go real smooth. Really excited about getting this one finished. I do have to redo my business cards and get them out, get some new ones made. I ran out. I have plenty of labels, but not business cards. So yeah. Oh, I have never done diamond art, and I keep saying that I'm never going to do diamond art, and it's solely because I don't need another hobby to obsess on, because that's one of the ways my ADHD manifests is when I get into doing something, I do it excessively. So I can't buy one diamond art at a time. I would have to have like all the things. That's why I have like over 1,000 square feet of leather sitting in my house. Hi, Marcia. Good to see you. I'm going to be here for about an hour and a half, I think. I'm going to log off at 9 o'clock. And that'll give between 30 minutes and an hour for everybody to stretch their body, get what they want, do what they want, and be prepared for 2 leaves in a pod tonight. Got a lot of progress going on the hat, the different stitch lines. I'm pleased with it. I have sent the new owner pictures of it, and she's happy with it. And for me, that's all that matters. If I'm okay with it and she's okay with it. You see, I would have a whole cabinet of them, Francis. Every time I saw them on sale, I would have to buy it. And so I would wind up with hundreds of diamond arts. So I am not picking up a new hobby, just not doing it. Um, it's one of those things. I quit watching Springfield Leather's sales and stuff like this because I need to use up a lot of the leather that's here at the house before I even consider um, buying any more leather, unless I have to have a specific color for a specific purpose. Which I have had to do in the past. That's how I wound up with my last green hide when I was making the flat cap for the guy before Christmas. It was his Christmas present from somebody. I had to buy that hide because the guy was very specific on what color he wanted. But I was able to make the last hat I made using that same hide. And then I've got the garrison cap I'm making. I will use the same leather for as well. So it was purchased for one commission and it was factored into one commission, and it's actually going for 3 commissions. So that's not bad. And tonight, while Tule's in a pod is on, if I get this line and get that line finished, then I have to attach this piece to this piece. That's going to be fun. It'll get pinned together first. I think I know exactly how to make it happen. To make it easy. It's weird saying, I'm going to pin this together. Oh, my fingers. There we go. Those things are not that hard to get out, but my fingers are not happy with me right now. Come on. Where's the... Oh, there it is. These are just real cool. Real cool. So yeah, I said something about my friend that is a school teacher. I bought him 20 sets of the 24-pack crayon, washable markers, color pencils, glue sticks, liquid glue, and regular pencils. He teaches low-income special needs children. And at the beginning of in his classroom, 20 of them is going to be more than he needs for a year for these students to start off and everything. He doesn't have that many students. This may actually, I think he winds up 5 to 8 students or something like that. And so he will get some inexpensive boxes, plastic boxes, and he will set up a set of things to send home to the families so that the children can do activity sheets at home. And then he'll have a set at the school for the students as well. His students, because of them being special needs, do not carry their book. They don't carry a book bag back and forth like most students would. It's just not easy to do with special needs children. But he does send activities home for them. So he will send some of this stuff to home. Target had it on sale. It is not Crayola brand or stuff like that, but it is still a good brand. The 24 packs of crayons for 25 cents. A pack of the 10 washable markers was 50 cents. A pack of 12 color pencils was 50 cents. And so for a reasonable amount of money, I could provide him with this. I try to do stuff with him all the time. It's one of my charitable acts that I do every year. One year I helped contribute to him trying to get some stuff in his classroom to, it was like mats, activity mats that have textures and activities on them to help with his students. If I go and I see a sale on, I found a sale online and it was for pencils that you could have customized. And his name is Jay. So I got a load of pencils made that said Mr. J Star and gave them to him. And he's like, this is great. The kids love prizes. They love pencils. And this is a great thing because they always are needing pencils because kids lose their pencils. I do not know mentally or actually, two different things. He has children that are older that mentally are not, and his are severe. He has some that he has to change their adult diapers. So he has really, most of them mentally are like children, are like small children. So the color activities, these are students that are put into classrooms that will never, short of a miracle, they will never learn to read and write the way the average child does. It's just not, it's not in the stars for them. But he still takes care of them. He tries to teach them some basic skills for living in a house with other people. I will have to check with him if he has specific age ranges that he's teaching, though. Okay, let's see. What is feasible for my coloring over here? I have blue, green, yellow is way over there. Yellow, orange, blue. I don't have a yellow, orange, blue. I have one going down yellow, orange, blue, but not up yellow, orange, blue. So I could actually pull that off here. I'll message him and ask him what the age range of his students are. I know one of them is now an adult that was in Jay's class that Jay also does caretaking of on the side. The parents needed someone to watch their child while they did some stuff that they could have taken it, but it would have been really hard on him. No, they're not. They're not people. They're not children that will become self-sufficient. And one of them, it's like the parent approached him and says, "I know you're his teacher, but would you be willing to basically babysit him over the weekend?" And Jay said yes, or babysitting while we go to a business dinner, this kind of thing. And Jay said yes. Hey, side money. And basically he's been doing it for 10, 15 years. He actually has a room in his house now that is set aside for this young man, because the young man is allergic to cats, and Jay has cats. So he takes allergy meds during the day to get by being around animals in society. But obviously at night you really don't. So Jay actually has him a sleeping room set up with cat free zone, which is kind of cool. And the guy's like Jay's little brother. Jay takes care of him as though he's family, which I think is super cool. Jay's just an amazing guy. I actually house sat for him the weekend that Jeff and I came into town to see the house that I am now living in. We were looking for a place to crash, and I posted, if anyone has bed space during this time so that Jeff and I can come look at houses, it'd be really cool, save us from getting a hotel. And Jay saw my post and he goes, I'm going to a camp out, and the person that normally house sits for me and feeds my animals is going to be camping with me, and I'm looking for someone to house sit for me. And I was like, I can feed animals. He said, you can sleep in my bed. So we stayed at his house and fed his animals over the weekend. And he provided us with a place to stay so that we didn't have to get a hotel while we were looking for the house. Worked out perfect. It was a win-win for both of us. He felt that he won more than I did, because he does fostering of animals, and some of the animals he fosters are very old, end of life, but not quite ready to be put down kind of animals. And so he tries to give them some good life at the end. So he does some fostering. And he's just an all-around amazing guy. So it's like if I go to the stores and I see stickers, like fun stickers that teachers would use, especially if they're on sale, because this girl cannot pass up a good sale. Let me give my hands a minute. I will grab them. Anything that's big, bulky, textured, like for a kindergarten, first grade, second grade class, I pick up those kind of things for him. He tries to teach some basic skills where possible. Some of his students are technically nonverbal. I don't understand the logic of they're under a certain age and they have to be in school even though they're nonverbal. But it is what it is. And he's really good with the kids. They are upstairs in my stuff from the weekend, and I've got to find them. I used to have a pair down here that I just left down here, and I took them upstairs and hand washed them. And then they wound up going in my stuff I carried with me over the weekend. So I need to get them. So yeah, my hands have been, and it's not just here right now because of all the teaching and stuff I was doing with leather care stuff. My fingers in here are just, they're stressed. I just overdid it. But it is what it is. I will survive. I am going to be going, I do have to go back to the orthopedic doctor. My knees will come first because I'm probably going to have to schedule a surgery for my knee to have a knee replacement done. That's what I'm guessing they're going to do next. And once I get that started, I can start working on my hands because I can be going to the doctor, getting stuff taken care of for my hands after I get the process for my knee started. So yeah, I gotta. Terry already told me I just have to do it. Go to the doctor, Tori. Just do it. So I will. But yeah, bought Jay some stuff. I've seen him like in passing when we go into Atlanta, but we've not sat down and shared space, what we call share space. So we've decided that we're going to meet up and share space, have a meal, and I'll bring him 2 boxes of school supplies. I totally underestimated what 20 packs of 24 crayons, how much space that takes up. Yeah, 24 packs of, or 20 packs of 12 color pencils. I just really, really underestimated how much space they take up and how much they weigh until the box came in today. But we reboxed it. But I also got some stuff to make up a little first aid kit that I can put in my stuff, my traveling stuff, when I'm doing leather care and stuff like that, or classes, just for the sake of always having a first aid kit with me. And then I can put in the stuff that has Tylenol, ibuprofen, that kind of stuff. Basic allergy meds that are not Benadryl, since I'm allergic. Since I'm a weirdo and I'm allergic. Oh, my package from Amazon must be here. Dogs are barking like crazy. Yeah, I don't think my right knee is going to need anything. I did not really damage that one to the best of my knowledge. That's not the one that gives me trouble. It's my left knee. I mean, all that should be covered by the insurance, so. Get that done. Get these cracked teeth fixed. By fixed, I mean I'm probably going to just take them out. Cracked teeth are not fun to work with. Pull that one snug. Yeah, I've procrastinated on getting checked for my knee surgery. Partly because I was told to wait as long as humanly possible to get it done. And I might have actually watched a knee surgery get done. Yeah, I have to do sedation dentistry now. I'm to the point where I absolutely have to get sedation dentistry. I will not let them work on my mouth if they can't knock me out. I've decided that the stress and anxiety caused by getting my mouth done, being awake and feeling everything, when they did my last 2 oral surgeries was traumatizing, because the wonderful injections they give you that is supposed to deaden your whole face, yeah, it does not, absolutely does not deaden me. So it's like, just knock me out and call it a day. And last time I had to get 2 teeth removed that had shattered, and my husband drove me, and because I had scheduled it for sedation dentistry. And when I got there, the dentist said, "Well, you're just having 2 teeth removed." And I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "Oh, I don't need to sedate you for that." And I'm like, "Yes, you do." And it took my husband saying, "Oh, no, no, no. Yes, you're going to sedate her. You're not going to traumatize my wife." And then he decided he would do it. It irritates me when it takes someone else going in order for them to listen to me. So I've decided new attitude of when I say I need sedation dentistry and they want to argue with me, I look at them and go, "You're fired," and walk away. I absolutely grind my teeth. I also grew up having epilepsy, and I would clamp my teeth really tight when I would have a seizure. So between the seizures and grinding my teeth, that was bad enough. But on top of that, when I was, I think, around 11, 12 years old, I was at the skating rink and the boy tried to kiss me and I didn't want to kiss him. And so I went to go in the girls' room to get away from him. And in doing so, they had these cinder block walls, and I grabbed the wall to whip around it and planted my face into the brick wall and chipped one tooth. My big visible damage was the chipped tooth right in the front. The non-visible damage was all the hairline fractures that only show up on x-rays. Um, it's one thing when you go to the same dentist over and over, you explained it, they don't question it anymore. And then all of a sudden you get a new dentist and they're like, "Oh, what kind of trauma have you had to your face? You have hairline fractures in all your teeth up at the root level." And it's like, yeah, I know that. That's why when they go to pull my teeth out, they basically just shatter. And hence why I must be sedated. So, yeah. But I'm really considering just going ahead and just telling them, just take them out. Give me new teeth. Give me teeth that won't shatter, which means I will not have permanent implants because I'll just crack them. It'll be a repeat because they will break. I have absolutely shattered a cap on a tooth before. So, yeah, there's that. And not knowing if I'll start having seizures again. Yeah, that's always a possibility when I have to have a tooth taken, or even if I have to have it worked on. If you go to have go and do this filling, and they go to drill your tooth, and all of a sudden your tooth starts falling apart. That's how I wound up with a cap in the back of my mouth. I grew up taking phenobarbital and Dilantin as a young child, for my seizures. And one of those actually has a protectant in it. It's great for your teeth. It protects your teeth, which meant that growing up in early ages, I never had cavities. But when I stopped having seizures, I was weaned off of my medicine. And then all of a sudden, I was not taking the phenobarbital and dilantin, which means I didn't have that protectant. I cannot remember which one is it that protects the teeth. It's a side effect. But all of a sudden, my teeth started reacting differently to the environment around it, and I wound up with cavities in the back. So I go in, standard routine. I got a cavity, fill it. The dentist goes to drill my tooth, and he can see it starting cracking down the middle. He's like, your tooth is cracking. I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. So he fitted me for a crown. He did some kind of glue thing to hold the tooth together so he could drill it the way he needed to for the cavity. And then he filled it, and then he capped it. And the tooth is in bad shape. That's the one that was giving me trouble last week before last, where I had to get on some antibiotics. I can feel when my teeth have shifted. And lately they've been having something going on. But the fact that I am the age I am and I actually still have my own teeth in my head is really weird for my family. We have some issues that are hereditary. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's in our blood. And most people have lost all of their teeth by my age. I am a fluke of the family nature, because most people have been on or have been an insulin dependent diabetic by my age as well, and suffer from high blood pressure. And I don't have high blood pressure. I actually have a very normal blood pressure, and still have not shown signs of diabetes. So I'm still knocking on wood and doing what I can. A lot of what I eat is a diabetic diet because the whole house eats the same thing. And I do cook to make sure my husband is taken care of. Yeah, that's why as soon as my tooth started acting up, my insurance comes with a teledoc, so to speak. And I just called them and I'm like, this is what's going on. I know what's going on. This is what it is. I want to get some antibiotics in my system and knock out the infection before it gets really bad. And they didn't have any problems prescribing me the antibiotic because I wasn't asking for pain meds. Had I been asking for pain meds to accompany it, I probably would have had a worse problem. But yeah, I need to go ahead and I might set Jeff on that adventure of finding me a dentist in our area that does sedation dentistry and full mouth of new teeth. Some of them only do sedation dentistry for children, blah, 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 blah. They don't think adults have trauma from their teeth, I guess. Might be opinionated on that one. Yeah, I think for my mom's 50th or 55th birthday, she got herself a new set of teeth. That was her birthday present for herself. And my uncle refused to get new teeth. And when he passed in his early 60s, I think he had a whole 2 teeth left in his head. But it's something to do with our teeth and our gums and everything. Our our teeth never sit sturdy into our mouth. So that means that my teeth have moved ever since I was a child. I could move my teeth on my own ever since I was a child. Ever since I've had teeth. But it's like my dad never got a second set of teeth. My father only had one set of teeth. He passed with equivalent of baby teeth in his mouth because he did not have a second set, which is weird. And I hear my husband coming down, and I think he's bringing me food. He brings me num-nums to eat. Oh, he made chili. Look at that. Thank you, my love. I bet that's going to be eating temperature in just a little bit. My husband loves me. He makes good chili. He makes it from scratch and puts cheese on it. Lots and lots of cheese. Yeah, so yeah, I come from a family. Both sides of my family have weird teeth. How many adults? Are you having issues, child?
Yes. There you go.
I have napkins down here.
Oh.
So, but my dad not having a second set of teeth, his family has that fluke of nature. Moms, the teeth don't anchor correctly. I don't know if it's the short roots or what, but they don't anchor correctly. They don't anchor very well at all, which causes problems. So yeah. Yeah, Jeff makes really good chili too. He gets multiple kinds of beans. So he gets red kidney beans, the light kidney beans, the medium red kidney beans, the dark kidney beans, black beans. He just gets all the kinds of beans, and he'll do chili with like 5, 6, 7 different kinds of beans in it, and lots of meat. Very protein rich chili. Come on. In the hole. Okay. And you go back down this hole. Yeah, my husband makes yummy chili. I don't even try to make chili because it's like he doesn't make etouffee. I don't make chili. It's one of those kind of things. I make lasagna. He does not. Still working with long strings here. Yeah, that's I mean, obviously, my dad's teeth, for being baby teeth, had to have been pretty strong since he still had them when he passed years ago. My grandmother actually took him to the doctor, to the dentist, when he was a little bit older than the normal age for children to be losing baby teeth, because she was concerned that he had not lost any of his teeth. And she thought that if he didn't lose his baby teeth, that it was going to affect how his adult teeth grew in. So the doctor, dentist being a good dentist, said, well, let me look. And he did x-rays. And he told my grandmother to not stress, because it's a good thing he's not losing those teeth, because the dentist saw no signs of his second set of teeth. Yay! And now I get to put these together. That is the center line. 1, 2, 3, right there, I believe is correct. Yeah. Actually, there will be. I have the other pieces sitting over here next to me. This is the band that will go all the way around inside of it. And this is the brim of it. And it's going to be similar to Scott's in that it's going to be, the edge comes in and sews in here. And so it'll create this little pocket right here once it's all sewn together. And if there's enough room, I will make a little wallet that will hold like the driver's license, a credit card, and a little bit of cash. So it will have a bill. It's just the bill's the last. Get all this other stuff together first. Can't see squat when it comes to the holes in these things. So I'm going to have to wing it. Actually, I can see holes. And I can see all the way through with those holes. If I line it up right, I can see straight through both pieces of leather because of the holes lining up correctly. And then I'll have to still go in and finish, which I'll do last, is go in and do the blue stitching inside like I did here, which is basically it's crosses, and it's to reinforce these seams, because these seams are not going to be easy to repair if they come unstitched. So I'm trying to add that reinforcement in there to give it a little extra durability. No, I have not. I bought some last time I was at Harbor Freight. Which was right before my weekend trip. And now I have to remember where I stuck that bag. I think it's in a box of stuff that I took with me. So as long as all these pieces line up correctly, I will not scream. And oh, that is so not in the hole. In the hole. Ooh. Sometimes finding that center hole is a pain in the patootie, to put it nicely. That's what I usually do offline, off screen, that you don't get to see. Is when I put these in where they belong. Oh, why are you not lining up? These things are hard to get out of the bottom of this container. Is that right, though? I don't think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is. To put these together, you have to pull this edge out, and I stick my thumb in between the layers to hold it together. Then you put it in, then you let it go, and this part goes back in, because that back edge pulls out a little bit. It's spring loaded, and that's how it holds it in. And working with this leather, because of the lack of thickness, it doesn't matter if I'm using the short ones or the long ones. Just pull out a few. Yeah, these are too long. The definition of active length evidently did not fall into her head. She doesn't understand that concept, because I did tell her I needed them active length, which is a little bit shorter than, quite a bit shorter than this. So I will probably get filing them. Might pull my Dremel out and file them down when nobody's watching. Trying to get it where I can see the light through here. There we go. Haha. I hold it just right. The pieces all align just the way you need them to. The problem is the hole in the bottom of that is so small. But it has to be. So yeah. Yeah, my natural nails break. And, you know, people talk smack about people who use acrylic nails, but I use acrylic nails to save mine. Because when mine break, mine have a tendency to break back here. I actually split my nail one time, my nail back here. It's split across. My hand got smashed and it split my nail across here. I went to the doctor. They checked it. They said, oh, your nail probably will not fall off. And his recommendation was to go to the nail salon and tell them to put acrylic over it. Carefully put acrylic over it to secure the nail, to hold it in place. And that's basically what I did. Was I went in, I told him, you can't do any major filing on my nails, on that nail, and you can't put any major liquid on it or anything, but yeah, just kind of stuff it together. And they did. And we did that, and took a few months, but eventually my nail grew out enough that I could cut off the damaged section. This one's going to be the hardest, is getting up here at the top. Oh, wait, I just had it aligned. Aha. Perfecto. My aunt had very long, very strong natural nails. She was a fluke in the family because she was the only one that had good nails. I do not like being sick. This congestion is killing me. Yeah. Got another one in there. I might actually be able to swing this with one seam. one. There it goes. Whew. Yeah, I think that'll work. Huh. You must have done something at one time to create an issue with it, that it does that. So yeah, I'm ready for the next adventure on sewing this. The front and the backs are not equal. This is the back. This is center front. The front pieces are longer. That's why they don't sit together. And that's because the front piece sews onto the brim. When I put it together, this part will sew out here on the brim to give it that slumped look. That slumped over look, which will be cool. It will be cool. Let me see what time. It is 8:30. Oh, well, see, there you go. And so you get to remember the horse bit finger your entire life because of your fingernail. I was lucky that with the horses, I never had any issue, which was amazing considering, being young. And I would crawl into the horses' stables with them without problem. Feed them by hand because I was fearless. I'd feed the cows. And never once did I get injured. The closest injury came with my sister. She was on her horse bareback. And her horse was just walking around and decided, I want to eat some grass now. And leaned down to eat grass, and my sister was leaning forward. So she went head over. And, we could, anytime we wanted to, we could go out and climb on our horse and ride it around. Because our greater yard was fenced in, and then the horses were in their own space. But we would get the horse and walk it over to where the hay was, climb up on the bales of hay, and just climb back bareback onto the horse and use their mane to steer them around the yard. And that was acceptable. So early years, I grew up on a farm. Early years. Most of which I don't remember, but there are some memories from the last year or so when we were there. I remember the horses. I would, in the summertime, I would get hot and I would just go climb in the horse's trough. Just sit in the horse's trough to cool off. So we would be in the horse's trough while the horses are coming to drink. So we would pet them while they drank. course, we'd pet them while they ate. We didn't care. Brush them. We Dad set the bale of hay up like a little living room, dining room area. He set it up where they'd look like couches and coffee tables and such. And we were allowed to play in there as long as we didn't put anything on the hay, the bales, other than a horse blanket. Um, we'd throw horse blankets over it. And can't find me, you might go check in the barn. I might be sleeping. We had our play dishes, and we would walk over to the cracked corn for the chickens, or the sweet feed for the horses, because that was before they loaded it with chemicals. Or it was just the stuff Dad got that he got from the indigenous folk up there, that it was natural. And we would just go in there and grab hands full of the sweet feed and put it in our little, those little plates you give kids for tea sets. And Mom would make us a drink, and we would put it in our little pitcher, and we would sit out there and have our tea time, eating sweet feed and cracked corn. We were healthy children. We were eating sweet feed, cracked corn, and chewing on stalks of alfalfa all the time. That was very common for us kids. Eating fresh eggs and sometimes fresh chicken if it was time. So yeah, it was a total different life from what I live now. But it was good because it was some informative years of my life. And the reality is, if I had to, I could. Just like when I was in high school and we lived in the house, we did not have electricity. We lived in the mountain. They didn't have electricity up there. We also didn't have full indoor plumbing. We had an outhouse. We had a bathtub, but you had to heat the water on the wood burning stove and to put it in the bathtub in order to take a bath. And my stepbrother he drilled a hole in the living room floor and put the plumbing in, and put a pipe that ran from the bathtub across the front yard down into where it went down started dropping down into the valley, because the only thing that went down there were animals. We didn't. And so we made sure that we were using non-toxic, biodegradable soaps, so that when we let the water run down, we didn't have to worry about an animal drinking it and getting poisoned. Because the deer would absolutely cross down in front of the house. And they knew we weren't going to come down there and shoot them and get them. Yeah, living out in California when we had the gardens, eating stuff right off the stalk. Is it garbly now? Is it still garbly? It is 8:30. I have been on for 2.5 hours. I'm going to post the link what happened was I forgot to plug my phone back in, and so the phone died. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So I'm going to post links now anyway because I have been on for 2.5 hours. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we all run over to Two Lees in a Pod and hang around. On Tuesdays, they do chat, news, and sometimes games. On Thursdays, they do chat, news, and most of the time they do selling of crystals, gems, jewelry, resin, acrylic resin stuff. Yeah. And they usually go on between 9:30 and 10. On Fridays at 7:30, you can catch us all over at Get Swamped. Robbie has the animal sanctuary, and he posts videos on the regular throughout the week on life on the farm and caring for the animals and educating about the animals. On Fridays when he goes live, he does a chat session where he'll answer questions, go through the mail, give us news on what's going on, and then he will go into sales and selling gems, crystals, rocks, sometimes auction, storage facility. He'll get a abandoned storage unit and he'll sell that stuff, or things that were donated, jewelry, just a variety of things. The money that he makes from that, the profits from that, go towards helping run the farm and take care of the animals and everything there. When schedule permits, Stacy Northern Aurora Treasures up in Canada goes live and sells crystals, gems, and a lot of 3D printed items, which are really super cool. And various other things. And Flutter Yo will often be found live with Stacy selling some rocks from the area in which she lives. Uperlights being one of those. If you just like watching unboxing videos and crystals and gems and stuff like that, lots of spheres, you can go watch some of the stuff over at Diana Wisely's channel. And eventually our friend Phil, CPR 58, aka Phil, is going to be doing lives or posting videos when he goes out and about in his wheelchair life and just getting around. And so he's just going to post some live things. I have been going live. I will be going live not tomorrow because today is Thursday. I do not go live on Friday, but I will probably go live on Saturday to work on the hat and try to get it finished this weekend on Friday and Saturday. It will be earlier in the day, and it'll probably be a longer stream just for the sake of trying to get this hat finished so I can move on to the garrison cap that I need to get done for a birthday present. Garrison cap's going to be fun. So I hope to see you, and if you could, when you're here, if you're not already subscribed, please do. If you're watching, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and leave me a comment. It helps with the algorithms, however you want to say it. If you're Robbie, you say algorithms. Share it with your friends. One day I'll get a lot of subscribers. Right now I'm kind of hanging out at 119, and that's okay. Yep. I actually have your stuff here. One of the things I'm trying to figure out, which I think I just need to buy some tracing paper, the easiest way to transfer the design onto the leather. So yeah, I got your keychain, and then I have to get with Heather on her keychain. I have the kilt panel to do. I've got MZ's hat to do. I am currently telling people that if they try to get a commission with me right now, they're probably not getting it until next year because I need to clear out my list. And so I will go through all that and try to clear all that stuff. But yeah, because I originally taped this down. Oh, you can't see it because I don't have a camera active right now. I originally taped it down and thought I could find a way to mark it, but there's just no way without risking tearing up the leather. So I'm not going to do that. Part of it will be painted for yours, Marcia. I did some testing. I have leather paint, but I did some testing on durability of putting it on and making sure it stays flexible and scratching on it and stuff. And I will actually top coat it with Resin anyway, which is a protectant used on leather items. But it's the best way to replicate the original in a miniature. And that's what I want to do. I want to replicate it to the best of my ability. Just make it miniature. So when she looks at it, she'll be like, holy crap. This is cool. This is one of the items that will not have my label on it because to try to put my label on a keychain is just, it would take away from it too much. And I think it would look tacky. So, but you know where it came from. So I'm going to take a break, eat my chili, which is probably at eating temperature by now. I can't eat things that are extremely hot because I have a sensitive mouth. I'm a sensitive lady. But I will eat, stretch, make sure I stay hydrated, use the facilities, and get ready to be back here when Lisa and Kendra start their live on Two Leaves in a Pod. I will send a label. I will send one of my business cards too. So, and there you go. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I hope I do see you over at Two Leaves in a Pod. Come hang out with us. You don't have to buy anything. Just hanging out, chatting with us is that's important. So please do that. Come hang out, chat with us, and enjoy the time. You don't have to buy anything. And I am going to head out, and I will talk to you all later. I will see you on Get Swamped tomorrow night, and then I'll be streaming back on this hat on Saturday to finish it up over the weekend. I will talk to you all later. So bye for now.